What's going on, guys? My name is Brandon Roberts, founder and CEO of Honest Consulting Group. Today we are here to break down time management. I say time management like that because everyone seems to have a different description of what time management really is. But today I'm going to break down the finer points of it and the impact it can have on your business today. So let's get into it. How often do you find yourself running out of time? Hourly, daily, weekly? For many people, this is an everyday thing. For myself, it's something I can say is probably more on a weekly schedule. Now, what do you do whenever you realize that time management has become an issue? Well, for starters, come here, watch this video. Yep. Hit that subscribe button. Once you got that taken care of, now we can get on to real business. For many people, it just seems like there's never enough time in the day to be able to get the priority tasks that you have completed. But everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. So, how are some people able to accomplish all of their goals, and yet some people on the opposite side of the spectrum are hardly able to complete any of them? Simple answer: good time management skills. So let's go ahead and break down a few of those right now. Before you can even get started on trying to figure out a good time management schedule for you, your staff, or your business, you need to know how well you effectively manage your time today. So how good is your time management? Well, for you to be able to assess that, we have created an amazing little PDF test for you. It's basically a quiz. It's got a few questions on there, and we're going to give it to you for free. I want you to be able to assess for yourself how well you manage your time and how effective it is for you and your staff. So go ahead, there's a link in the description. Go ahead, get the PDF, answer the quiz, do it honestly, and then you'll be able to rate yourself at the end. There's instructions in there, and you'll be able to see, are you good at time management, or do you need a little bit more work? If you are on the I need a little more work side, don't worry, these next tips are just for you. When you know where you're going, then you can figure out exactly what steps need to be taken and in what order. Without proper goal setting, you'll never be able to get through this confusing mass pile of conflicting projects and all these little things that come along your way. It's just going to be a mess, and you're not going to effectively be able to handle that schedule. Next is prioritization. Prioritization cannot be understated. Having priorities is one of the best ways to keep a very good schedule in play. Prioritizing what's most important is probably the most important part of this lesson. When you know where you're going, then you can figure out exactly what steps need to be taken and in what order. Without proper goal setting, you're going to fritter your time away on conflicting priorities and different tasks, and none of them are going to be accomplished on time. A to-do list is great, but without a priority list on top of that to-do list, it's really just a collection of different projects and things that you need to get done throughout the day. What separates that from any other type of list, right? So make sure that you're taking care of those high priority tasks first. Making sure that you take care of your high priority tasks first is essential because it leads you and makes sure that you're putting the energy that you have right then on the highest priority tasks. So that way when you're done with them and you're already tired, you're mentally, physically, you're just out of it, you're able to then focus on those lower priority tasks where it's really not that important for you to get them accomplished maybe that day. So remember, high priority tasks, low priority tasks. Make sure you take care of your high priority tasks first. That is key, and it is the most important part of this lesson. Next, managing interruptions. As a CEO or business owner, we all face these types of issues. You'll sit down at your desk and you'll start to do whatever, project A, B, whatever, and then what happens? Phone rings, employees walk through the door, your wife calls, your husband calls, your kids call, your kid's school calls, whatever it is. You have 1,000 interruptions throughout the day. So what can you do about it? Well, you can structure your environment to help you to be able to operate as efficiently as possible. And what I mean by that is make sure that your staff knows that this time is set aside for you. You have a high priority task list that you're trying to accomplish, and it needs silence. Now, I'm not saying go heavy-handed on your staff and make it to where they don't want to actually ever come and speak to you, especially whenever it comes to something that's really important. You don't want that type of energy in your office. But there is a balance, and you can find a middle ground. After too many laters, you get piled up with a large list of things that you have to do, and just even looking or thinking about doing it just seems insurmountable. It's like it's way too much. The best way to beat this is to recognize that you are having this issue, and then figure out what the reason behind it is. This will allow you to be able to change and be able to make different habits that will allow you to be able to pull yourself out of that trap. Next, reward yourself for getting the job done. I mean, if you're already going in and having to put in all this work, reward yourself for it. Be happy about it. You've set a goal, you were able to accomplish it, be happy. Enjoy that victory for just a moment, because you know the next one is right around the corner. So soak it up. Once you know that you're already a procrastinator, figure out what it is and why it is that you're procrastinating. Is it a fear of success or a fear of failure? If it's a fear of success or failure or somewhere in the middle, at least you learn to recognize it. Then you can go ahead and build a plan to pull yourself out of that bad habit. Whether it's professional or personal, you have to be able to grow. Growth is the most important thing in my life day to day. It's something that's going to help you throughout any part of your life, any area, whether it's your marriage, your home life, your work life, with your kids, family, it doesn't matter. It's going to help you in all areas, I promise. Next, we're going to move right into scheduling, which is probably my favorite part of this whole thing. I love scheduling. I am a schedule guy. Much of time management comes down to exactly this: scheduling, effective scheduling of your time. When you know what your goals are, then you need to be able to set clear pathways for you to accomplish those. This does two things. One, keeps you on track and makes sure that you accomplish those deadlines, but two, it also protects you from stress. Stress buildup is one of the worst things that you can have happen to you, and it can easily build up if it's not on a proper schedule. So when you're creating a good schedule, remember, you not only have to save and create time for your scheduled tasks or projects or priorities, but you also have to schedule in time for interruptions. Because let's face it, how many times do you sit down to get something done and someone knocks on the door, the phone rings, a client calls, or just whatever the 9,000 things are that generally happen to a CEO or a manager from day to day. It's just one of those things. So whenever you're making your schedule, factor that time in, because it's going to happen. So allow yourself time for all of these things. It will help you in the long run, I promise. Some key points to take away from this: scheduling your time is an important management tool, but also it helps you to be able to keep your stress down. Stress is one of those things that will kill any business, any businessman or woman, it doesn't matter. Stress is a killer. Stress is one of those things that affects everyone differently, but when you let it build up, it affects the way that your brain thinks. It affects your mental cognition. So if you have your low cortisol levels, then you're much more likely to be able to think effectively, quickly, and efficiently. Whenever you try to make a sentence and you're reaching for those words, but you just can't get to it, a lot of the times that's stress related. So if your stress is low, the chances of that happening are much lower. Alright, so that's it for the video today, guys. This is our video on time management with Honest Consulting Group. I hope you got some tips that really helped you. This is a new channel, so please help us and we can help you even more. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do what you need to do. Help us grow and so we can reach more people and help and educate them. Love you guys. See y'all later.